Widnes and Warrington both kind of on patchy form at the moment, so that made it a tricky one to pick. I've gone for a slender Warrington away win. To apologise to our loyal Widnes following. I just fancy Warrington. I just think they are evenly matched, and they've both been missing key players at different periods of time. I think the Warrington pack, if it comes and does its job right, should get over the top of this Widnes pack, and that might allow a bit more time and space for guys like Ratchford and Gidley to do some work, or you'll even see young Deck Patton get a run out. The caveat to this is that if Widnes can get their usual plan A working, which is to kind of get around the sides of big packs and play around them, then this could end up being a result for Widnes. But I just fancy Warrington to edge this one out.
Warrington?
Yes, I'm picking Warrington to beat Widnes.
Oh, sorry, I wrote it down wrong when you told me before. You must have said 18-12, but not.
Sorry, 18-12 to Warrington.
Well, I'm going to go the other way. So, just to be different, just because Warrington's attack's stuttering and Widnes have had a confidence boost, even though obviously not a tough test against Rochdale in the end. They've had a confidence boost.
Winners are grinners.
And I think that'll help them. They've managed to give a few players a game off last week and give us some experience to some of the younger lads. That should bode well for down the line, but also the immediate impact is those lads that had to do those players that had to do the Easter schedule are going to be fresher for this week against Warrington, and I'm going to credit them with a ground out win on the plastic pitch, 16-12.
Very good. Okay, Catalan Dragons take on Salford Red Devils on Saturday afternoon down in the south of France. Catalan all day for me. They are prone to letting a few points in, and Salford have got points in them, so I think it'll be a high-scoring affair. But the form and the role that Catalan are on at the minute, I don't see them really. If they play like they have been doing, I think they'll dispatch Salford relatively easily. 36 points to 20. I've gone for.
I've gone pretty similar actually. 30-18. I think actually Catalan's prone to let points in thing that you've said has disappeared somewhat. I think people like Glenn Stewart have really toughened up that defensive mindset, and you've always had the enthusiasm of some of the French boys, the likes of Plissier and and I was thinking more of like the forwards like Muniz and Battieri, who's Frenchish because
French Asterix,
because his dad was over there for quite a while.
Can't say French Asterix, can you? Because Asterix was French.
Yeah. I think Catalan won't concede as many points as you're saying. I still think that maybe Salford are good for a few tries because they have got some strike weapons that are playing for them. But I'm going to go 32 points to 18. Although I'd love a repeat of last year's 40 all. Yeah, that was a somewhat special, wasn't it?
That would make for some Saturday afternoon entertainment, wouldn't it?
For sure.
Wakefield take on Hull FC down at Bellevue. Wakefield on a relatively unprecedented run of form, certainly unexpected if not unprecedented. And Hull FC stuttered.
We know it's not unprecedented.
Well, that's not unprecedented, but unexpected. And Hull FC stuttered last week, and they're missing people in a few key places. I'm not sure. Wakey by 6, 30 points to 24. I'm going to go for it. Wakey to win.
It is a tough one. I'm going to go the other way around. I'm going to go Hull FC by 6, 26-20.
I think that's probably more sensible, but yeah.
I just think Hull are a better side this year than they've been before.
Yeah.
The game against Leeds, they were missing players, but I don't know how much they planned for the absence of Shaw, but if he's absent this week, they've had a lot more time preparing for it. And Mark Sneed's been playing really well. And I just think he'll have an opportunity to do that again against a side that have been going well, but I'm not sure in that period of time how much they've won massively in the pack against a big pack like this.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
It's a big test for the likes of Scruton and England and...
Well, I was thinking...
Mikael Simon.
Just for the consistency that they're probably going to face from the size that Hull FC have. I mean, they'll be playing a forward in the heart, you'd expect, as well. So I think it's going to be it's going to be a good one. It's going to be an interesting one. Again, like all of them nowadays, we could go both ways. There's only one game that I'd say is a foregone conclusion this week.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that certainly isn't one.
I know, and it could well be this one. Castleford Tigers take on Hull KR. Hull KR woeful at the moment. Castleford Tigers not exactly setting the world on fire the last 2 or 3 games, but they're definitely a better form than Hull KR. I will bear my arse in Woolworths' window if they put 50 points.
Oh, well, you say Woolworths because you can't, because they don't exist.
Well, it's a turn of phrase, Mark, but I'll hold Tyler Cass-fan to it as well. I do think Castleford will win, however, although perhaps not as convincingly as he expects. I'm going 24 points to 12 in favour of the Tigers.
I think Castle win. I think that their attack that didn't necessarily break through Wigan at all will have more chance to do that against a Hull KR side that leaves more holes around the pitch. The only thing Hull KR have got going for them is there's been a few other teams this year who've reacted well to defeats. Hull FC went on that 5-game winning run after they lost big to Widnes. Castleford got absolutely butchered by the Warrington Wolves and then came back and won the next week, and Wigan were obviously absolutely levered by Wakefield, and then they've come back to win only 5 days after that. So you have to feel like there is these turnarounds happening.
Yeah.
It's just I think Hull KR's decline has been more sustained than any of those other ones I've talked about.
That's true.
And that's why I can't see them getting themselves up for it.
No, me neither. Okay, so if you're at a game this weekend, or if you're out and about and want to follow what's going on whilst you're at the shops or at another game, you can do so by following our friends at SL Clubs on Twitter. Those boys will keep you up to speed blow by blow as everything happens in Super League this weekend. Championship game of the week, Mark. What have we picked out?
Well, Featherstone versus Lee. They are 2 of the sort of foremost teams in that league. If you go on sort of titles and forget about middle 8 finishes, they're the 2 teams that have won it for all the last few years, really.
Yeah.
They're both playing quite well. I know Fev lost at Batley, but you know,
Lee on tremendous form.
People lose at Batley, but Lee lost last week as well. So both teams are looking to bounce back, which adds another layer of interest to the game.
Yep, I'm going to go for a Lee win though, 20 points plus.
I suspect Lee might win, but I don't think it'll be a big scoreline. I think it'll be a more tough game, and possibly they'll win by 2 scores in the end.
Yeah. Side note: did you see the story about Fluey Moi Moi this week?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's terrifying, isn't it? He just came down, and
at least he had the weight to lose, I suppose.
Well, they said if you weren't a professional athlete, you would have probably died.
Yeah,
which is insane. But good luck, and get well soon for it.
Definitely, because everyone enjoys seeing him rampaging around, don't they?
Rampaging around Lee.
Yeah,
up and down the stand. Yeah, exactly. League One game of the week, Mark. What catches your eye?
Well, it's the obvious one. It's the 2 unbeaten sides. I know neither of them are at the top of the table because of how the fixtures fall, but it's Rochdale versus Toulouse.
Are York not unbeaten?
Are they not? Are they?
I'm not sure. I thought York had won 7 in a row in the league, or in League One competitions. I could well be wrong.
Maybe.
I'm sure I saw something posted by the York City Knights. Anyway. But either way, you're right. This is a tremendous fixture. I fancy Toulouse, though.
Sorry, you are right. There are 2 other unbeaten sides. York
who's the other one?
And Barrow. Barrow have had a draw.
Hey, there you go.
Unbeaten sides
Barrow out they are.
all around the League One side thing.
Somebody's O has got to go.
Yeah, but Rochdale a joint top, and Toulouse have only conceded 6 points in the league this year in 3 games and scored 192, so they're the form side, really.
Yeah, I'm going to go Toulouse by 26, I reckon.
I think Toulouse will win, probably by 3 scores, 16 or 18 points.
Okay, so what will you be looking out for in the NRL this weekend, my friend?
Well, it's is it Anzac week this week? Because there's a lot of games on Monday. So I assume it's Anzac Day on Monday.
Must be,
But the Broncos are playing the Rabbitohs on Friday. Lots of British interest there. Raiders against the Tigers on Saturday. I found myself becoming a Raiders fan, almost involuntarily.
I know, you want to see Josh Hodgson do well though, don't you? That's the thing.
Well, and Whitehead as well, so they've got a couple of English players in that setup. Although I've always had a soft spot for the Tigers since Patty Richards went there. Obviously now he's not there, but when he went back to them, there was a soft spot there, and that's sort of lingering on just because I enjoy watching.
Well, they've got some exciting players in the three-quarter line, haven't they, as well?
And Nguama's hair is always amazing.
Yeah.
And Aaron Woods is an entertaining player as well in the pack. The Dragons versus the Roosters on Monday. Let's hope that even though
somebody's going to have to win.
you know.
Someone will have to contrive to win that game, won't they? Well, maybe the Roosters bring Joe Burgess back from...
There's plenty of British interest in the game from the Dragons side of things, and whilst I loathe to see that Red V win on either side of the world, I'll go for it over the fucking non-Joe Burgess picking Roosters. As soon as they pick Joe Burgess, I love the Roosters, by the way. It's just getting over that hump.
And of course, the Roosters do have a Red V in their kit as well.
A bit.
Bit of one.
Yeah.
Bit of one. Did you notice that when the Australian Anzac test side was announced that Mal Meninga avoided picking, or on purposely didn't pick, any Queensland players that were banned from playing for Queensland? Or South Wales, sorry.
No, it's
the Queensland lads, isn't it?
Yeah.
Forgive me.
What's his face? Milford.
Yeah, which I thought was a good
being the headline one. Yeah, would they have necessarily been first up anyway? I mean, Milford's been playing well, but...
It's good to make the point, I suppose.
But would you carry that into the Four Nations at the end of the year?
Perhaps not. Do you have a pick for the Anzac test? Kiwis have been winning it of late, haven't they? That's the thing. Is there an argument to say they're taking it more seriously?
Well, they're going to be missing people, aren't they? And, key players, key hyphenated players. No, he's not, but RTS and Ray Hargreaves will be misses for them. I think that the pack, maybe, with how well people like Bromwich and Tamalolo are playing this year, gives them an edge. But then you've got Tamau and Scott, and I have no idea, mate.
It could go either way, couldn't it? Well, we'll talk about it in a couple of weeks' time. Right, that's your Super League pod for the week. All that remains is for us to wrap up the show. Right, so that's episode 96 of the Super League pod, stuffed into the bag, and I can't think what I'm going to say now. The ties have been tied on the top of the bag. It's complete. It's in the bag.
Like a bin bag.
I'm very tired.
A bin bag.
I was thinking more kind of like Hessian, and then like you would pull the drawstring on it. In my mind, that was it. It's in the bag, and the drawstring has been pulled.
And then you're going to drop it off a bridge, and
we're going to throw it into a canal and drown a lot of it. Yeah. Have you got an SLP recommends for us this week, Mark?
Yeah, sort of. It's more.
This is hardly a recommendation, is it? If it's like, well, maybe. What do you sort of recommend this week?
It's more a sort of conversation about one thing that me and Emma have been enjoying recently on TV. We've been watching the Who Do You Think You Are USA, which is on Watch, which is one of those channels on Sky that has like 7-hour advert breaks.
Yes.
And it's just remarkable how all American genealogists seem to be guys who look quite not unlike you, glasses, bald head, but all homosexuals. It's just, honestly, watch it.
Do you think that's just a freak of statistics that these attractive gay men seem to be seem to be getting on TV as genealogists? Is that what you're saying?
It's remarkable. There's a different one every week, though, Tom. It is remarkable.
There's a lot of good-looking blokes about, Mark.
Yeah, so we'll be watching that a bit,
right?
And that's pretty much it.
What sort of people did he get on that? Who?
One of the people
anyone famous?
One of the people that was on it was the guy who plays Mitchell in. Family, what's it called? Modern Family. The ginger gay guy.
Oh right, the guy that you would go as if we went as the couple from Modern Family to a fancy dress party.
Yeah, but the real life guy is exactly like the character.
Oh, right.
And I think they played up on that a little bit, how they sort of set the scene and
I see.
And did the interviews with him sat in a doorway,
right.
like they do it in the TV program,
right?
When they do
the cutaways, the shots.
Yeah, it was quite good.
And was there anything interesting about his background? I mean, you would assume there has to be something in there, otherwise it's just like, you're the great grandson of a shepherd.
They do find some weird stuff. There was one the other week, someone who I've not really heard of, but she's on like sort of average sitcom-y type stuff in America, I think, or whatever, that sort of stuff, who was about 14 steps away from some King of England.
All right.